So I'm just going to give just a quick rundown on some of the things that we're doing in the cardiac arrest team, looking at DeepShift downloads. So every time we go to any event and we switch on our machine, whether it just be for monitoring a patient or for in a cardiac arrest situation, when you upload all the information, this is kind of what I'm going to be talking about. So I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of the kind of information that we see when we start looking into our cardiac arrest data. So we started an audit. Shorty was talking about it's important to do audits, then basics, then clever stuff. Started an audit on what our performance is like in the real world at cardiac arrests. So this is just one sample little page of what we can sort of see. So this kind of gives the underlying rhythm. You can sort of see the top right, looks like probably VF, I think looks like, and then a little red dot up there is when a shock went in, and it's obviously been a change in rhythm since then. And you can maybe see the little green, the little black figure with the little green tick. That's every time it's saying good compressions. It's a couple where it's red, saying compress deeper. So we can get a sense of all that. What does that look like, though, in terms of the quality of the CPR and the ventilations? So we can also see this, which shows your CPR depth and your rate, and your green bar is in a good zone. So this event, actually, it's pretty good. We're in the green most of the time for depth, and rate is good as well. That can all be summarized in a little histogram with some numbers beside it as well. This, by the way, the little histograms, you can print off from your defib after an event. I'm not quite sure how to do it while it's still a live job, but if you go into the archive, select the last cardiac arrest, there's a CPR button, it'll print this out. Great little tool for a hot debrief, just be top tip. This shows lots of things. One thing I'll just point out, Shorty mentioned compression fraction, that's basically the time you're on the chest. We want that ideally to be about 80% of the time or above. So here, left-hand side, 4 up, compression fraction, it's done as a number here, is 0.76. So actually that's pretty good, 76% of the time on the chest. This is quite a good event. Another one, you can see, it looks a little bit different. There's more red there, showing something's not quite going right. This time, it's our CPR depth is maybe not quite so good. If again, looking left-hand side, compression fraction, 0.76, actually exactly the same. Exactly the same amount of time on the chest as the previous case. However, this patient probably isn't getting the same quality of resuscitation as the first. Important point, context is key. What this doesn't tell you is whether this was a bariatric patient and you simply couldn't compress the chest, whether maybe you've separated the sternum from the ribs and actually you're just not getting much recoil. Context is important, but objectively, this chest wasn't going up and down as well as the other one. And again, what does that look like in terms of just another visual? It looks like that. Clearly not quite as good as the previous one. So this is all stuff that we can see and we're auditing just now. It's the beginning of our audit, not the main numbers yet, just around over 40 we've looked at so far. And this is a little bit what it looks like. So these are, for this 40 odd cases, your mean CPR rate should be between 100 and 120. So it starts off pretty much right, and it goes off just a little bit over 200, 120, not too much. A little bit fast occasionally. This is better than it used to be 10 years ago. We were going far too fast quite a long time ago. This is an improvement. So our rate's actually quite good, looks like so far, from the small numbers, and we'll keep looking at it. Depth, though, 5 to 6 centimetres, should be aiming for. I mean, quite a spread there. 3.6 and 5 centimetres only starts halfway through. How long have we got left? Oh dear, right. So it does look like, and I know it's fairly small numbers, but this is what we've been sensing anyway. And from the others downloads we've looked at and haven't yet managed to put into our spreadsheet, it does seem to be a theme that our compression depth overall is often not as good as it should be. And just reflect back to Shorty's chat about just the importance of that, worth just keeping in mind. Compression fraction then, the time on the chest, should be 80% above, so 0.8 and over, and you can see 0.8 is kind of hanging over right there. So again, there's a lot of time overall that it seems that are possibly having pauses off the chest a bit too long. This is basic. This is the basics that we could be doing a little bit better and is going to result in better outcomes. Why we do all this? Well, it's important because we cannot improve what we cannot measure. So we need to be able to do audits like this. Part of that does require, before anyone's going to put their hand up, and they will later on, I'm sure, I know that for the ambulance colleagues out there, we don't have pucks at the moment. We're working really hard. Basically, the ones we've had are off the market. We're working really hard to try and find something to replace them with. And it is important because ILCOR does recommend it as part of an effective system. It's good for your on-scene improvement during the lifetime, but more so as well, or as much for just the bigger system learning. That all then feeds into the knowledge we get informing our education. Skills and drills, again, we've mentioned, that's something we're pushing for and having conversations at a high level to try and build in or look at the feasibility of building in regular skills and drills training, short time, 20 minutes, 50 minutes at the beginning of a shift on a regular basis to help just keep that basic skill level up. It all feeds into how we approach the strategy and thinking about future strategy, and then feedback as well. Individualized feedback would be a great thing to do. It's difficult just getting across some of these hurdles we have, but individualized feedback allows you to reflect on some of those ones we were showing you earlier on, where you can put it in context yourself and think through the event, and just with that quick little skills and tools, practicing the regular and then reflecting after a job, hopefully we're going to be in a better place for just doing the basics better and getting better outcomes. I'm over. I'm sorry. Thank you.